Hey, so let's keep going. I turned off the camera because I wasn't using it as much. Let's do a piecewise defined function. So as you can see here, it says graph the function 1/8 x for x less than 0 and x plus 4 for x greater than or equals 0. Now, you may not have a lot of experience with these things now, but the idea behind a piecewise defined function is it depends on what the x is on how you determine what the f of x is. So what this is saying, these are the domain inequalities, the domain requirements. If we fall into one of these categories, then we choose this as the output. The output is actually the first column there. The input, the inequalities that determine what the input is over there on the far right. So if x is less than 0, then we go with 1/8 of x. So let me put some values. Let's do a negative. Let's do a -8, and then let's do a -4. Let's also do a 0, a +4, and a +8, just to get you a feel for what this function looks like. So a -8, because it's less than 0, you'd plug it into 1/8 of -8, which is a -1. So that would be our point, is -8, -1. Now, if you look over here on these different choices out here, let me make the screen a little bit bigger. So, excuse me. Make it a little bit bigger so we can see these values. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is out here. So this is part D is definitely not going to be our function. So we need -8 to line up with -1, and so really I'm looking hard at A here, because that point looks like -8, -1, and the others just aren't looking right at all. So, but let's go ahead and finish it out so we can see what's going on here. So at -4, we're supposed to be at 0. Oh, sorry, not at 0, but 1/8 of -4 is -1/2. And that's actually looking pretty good there as well. That's going to be the point -4, -1/2. All right, let me make my pen a little thinner. And so all's looking really good. Now at 0, now you got to be really careful at 0. 0 is not defined for that first inequality. 0 is not less than 0. So we actually don't use this thing. In fact, if you did use it, I like to call this a hole in the function. If you did use 0, if you took 1/8 of 0, you would get a 0 back. But this is not a point. Now everything right up to it is a point. So that's why there's a hole in this graph here at 0, 0, because it's not defined at 0 to be 0. At 0, it's defined to be 0 plus 4, which is equal to 4, which is up here. So this function has a little break in it. And anyway, so then at 4, which is 2, 4, we actually get a value of 8. So at 4, we're up here at 8. And then at 8, it's off the screen. It'd be 8 plus 4 is 12. So at 8, we're actually up here at 12. So see how this line is headed that way. At 8, we're at 12. Anyway, it's clearly letter A, and this is what we call a piecewise defined function. All right.